You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Friday. I'm Dalby, and this is the Brock and Dalby Podcast. No live show today, so we've got a bonus podcast for you that normally would come out on the weekends. It's going to have some of your Text Us Tuesday, Text Us Thursday questions, plus just some stuff that we didn't get to on the podcast throughout the week. Enjoy.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Last week we did our annual real or fake of the best names in college football. And the future already looks strong. As I was reading an article yesterday, Oklahoma University is looking to recruit a 17-year-old wide receiver. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Named Booby Feaster.
Booby Feaster?
Yeah, man.
Come on.
Hall of Fame material already, dude.
Absolutely. If this kid can even remotely catch a ball, he's going to sell tickets for the team.
Okay, I can picture the merch already. Shirts. I mean, hell, he could partner up with the I Love Boobies campaign thing.
Right. They could sell a whole section of tickets. It's the booby section. People will buy to sit in that specific section to support their guy.
If you're a fan of his, you're a feaster as well.
Oh, the Feast Club?
Oh, man. I mean, I don't know how your parents stumble upon that one. Like, I don't know the brain process on it.
The only thing I can think of is, maybe the intention was to name him Bobby, but, if you've ever been in that room after the whole ordeal.
The spelling went wrong, yeah.
Yeah, maybe the spelling went wrong. Maybe mom was just really tired after the whole procedure, the ordeal, and just mispronounced it.
I mean, I don't really... Do people name their kids after body parts? I mean, of all the body parts, that's the one you go with?
There's a lot of Richards out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
about the only one that I can really think of. That
I know I've
met
met girls named Iris, but I don't know if they're named because of the eye.
Yeah.
Right?
Not too many corneas out there, though.
Achilles was like a god, but I don't think I've ever met anyone named Achilles before.
Right. Well, I think, that was more, it was the body part was allegedly named after him as opposed to vice versa.
Yeah,
so that one's
yeah.
a little bit different.
I know, back in, the 40s, 50s, there'd be girls named Fanny, but I don't think that one really stuck around, right?
No, I think once the name started getting used more prevalently for the body part, the name took a real dive in popularity.
It is a fun idea to name your kid after a body part, name your kid Lashley or something.
Oh, that's not bad.
Actually, that could work because of Bobby Lashley, the wrestler.
That's right. Yeah. And also, we are living in an era where every spelling when it comes to names is legitimate. So why not name your kid Neil with a KN at the beginning?
Yeah. I'm going to assume from now on anyone that's name is Bo, it's short form for elbow.
Elbow? Yeah.
I do a lot of the short form stuff, honestly.
Do you think there's ever been somebody who had kind of like a foot thing that named their kid Tony?
Maybe. Maybe.
Just a little hint at maybe what they're after?
Mo, short form for osmosis.
This is at least the third time you've referenced Osmosis Jones on this show, and I applaud you for each and every one.
It's got to be someone else's favorite movie, right?
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
It's time to send a text to me and Dolby. 762-555 is the number. Send a text to us and we'll read it on the radio. 762-555, come on, get weird with
Yes, as Toto once said, 762-555, send a text right now. Questions, comments, concerns, anything you got to say.
It's crazy how many bands did songs about this segment that would happen years later on our show.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they had a time machine or something,
right.
But yeah.
So cool to look back and see all the respect we got from bands like Toto.
First one in here at 762-555 says, what is your Super Bowl prediction for this year?
Steelers are going to win against the...
It's a bold prediction with Russell Wilson.
I mean, you know what? I'll say this, and it's boring, and I hate it, but until the Kansas City Chiefs
I was going to say, yeah,
prove that they can't win, then you have to pick them to win.
Unfortunately, I think you are right as well.
Yeah.
My dream pick, and I do think they will have a good team this year, Cleveland. I would love to see the Cleveland Browns win the Super Bowl. I don't think it'll happen. I think they'll make a playoff run this year, though.
It's tough because I am a Steelers fan. They're in the same division as Cleveland, but Cleveland is so bad all the time that I still do like feel bad, like the way you'd feel bad for an animal trapped in bad weather. So I wouldn't hate if they won.
I think it's the first time in a long time that the Steelers are probably worse than the Browns.
Russell Wilson, baby! I almost said it without laughing. I was so close.
Someone said, with the news about kids not being allowed phones in school, do you think kids should be allowed cell phones in school?
So here's the thing. No, I don't think they should have them in school in class. I don't think they should have them like at their desks or whatever. If kids have lockers or if you're on your free time between periods, then that's your free time. But I've been thinking, because my oldest is 10 now, and I'm like, when do I get them a cell phone? They're pretty tech savvy. Like, I think they could handle it. But I also don't want them to have their head buried in their phone like the old man, you know?
I think that's the thing. And with the school thing, too, I think there should be a rule that also teachers should lock up their phones, too. Not saying that I know a bunch of teachers who are, like, texting during class or anything.
But you got to set the example, right? I agree with that. I don't think you should be having all these big rules and lockdowns to take kids' phones away, and then the teacher is up scrolling or whatever. But again, in the teacher's lounge, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I think there just has to be a commitment to learning on all sides.
Someone said, is it supper or is it dinner?
I say dinner.
I say supper.
But I'm okay with either one. I'm not one of those people. I think I just default to dinner, and I don't know why. But I'm not one of those people that's like, no, you're wrong.
That same person also said, what time do you have supper/dinner?
I mean, I won't speak for you, I guess. I'm different because we go to bed a little bit earlier, A, with the kids, and B, because we have to be up so early.
I'm like a 5:30, 6 o'clock, yeah.
Like, yeah, if we eat at 6, it's because we really pushed it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I would say, like, growing up, it was probably 7, because my dad usually got home from work around that time.
Even, like, when I was out with my folks this summer, and they're eating dinner at, like, 7 o'clock, and for me, I'm like, I'm starving. I'm so hungry.
Someone said, do you guys like popping your significant other's pimples? My girlfriend won't leave my back alone.
Nope, I won't touch hers. She's not allowed to touch mine unless, in the very specific instance, it is somewhere I can't reach.
Yeah.
Right? If I have a pimple.
I like popping my own.
I don't even like that.
I like the satisfaction of getting my own, but I don't want to touch anyone else's gunk.
No, man. I tell you right now, I keep gloves in the kitchen for like meat handling and stuff like that. I would literally have to go put those on if I was going to pop. Even for my kids. If I was having to pop someone else's pimple, I would have to put gloves on.
The only thing Courtney attacks me with is like, I get like random, like hairs like by your eyebrow or something, or I'll get like random ones on my neck. She likes to tweeze those out.
I do too.
Dude, we'll be in the car and all of a sudden she'll just like grab a hair that's like coming out of my neck and rip it out.
Okay, that's a little rough.
Yeah.
I tweeze my, oh God, I just felt it. I need to get in there. Usually when I do my beard care, I get between the eyes, but let's see if I can get this one here. No. Ow, that hurt.
To be honest, man, I can never see your eyebrows anyway, so.
I have very light eyebrows, 100%. I don't need to tweeze up there, but it makes me feel better that I do.
Yeah, to be honest, do you have eyebrows? I don't know.
It's one of the last places where I have hair that I can control.
You're like Charlie Villanueva minus the basketball skills.
You don't know that. Take me on the court, 1v1, bro.
I'll take that. I'll take that bet.
This is the Brock and Delby Podcast.
Vaping has become a huge problem with the youth of today, specifically teenagers. I mean, kids that never even smoked a cigarette in their life are vaping hardcore right now.
Yeah, the whole idea of like vaping being a way to quit smoking made sense. But as soon as you started having flavors like bubble gum and unicorn tears and stuff like that, you are going to get kids that may have never had a cigarette going, well, I'll try that.
Apparently, the province of Ontario is looking to spend around $30 million installing what they're calling vape detectors in high schools.
Oh, basically like smoke detectors, but for like the water vapor.
That's exactly it. It's supposed to pick up the water vapor. They also say it has a noise detector so they can like pick up noise if kids are just lingering in the bathrooms. I mean, which is always been a thing throughout every generation of high school students. You go to the bathroom to kind of hide from class.
Yeah, well before I ever started smoking cigarettes, I still would have to get shooed out of the bathroom every now and again because I was like, I don't want to go to biology class.
The idea of smoking in the boys' room has turned into vaping in the boys' room now.
Which just doesn't have the same level of cool.
Now, they claim with these vape detectors that it just picks up noise. They won't record conversations, but they say it could recognize something like a gunshot or if someone was smashing something or anything like that.
I mean, those are obviously good things that you would want teachers and support staff to have an idea that is happening. But you're right. Now that you've said it, I'm also like, you're going to be recording conversations.
It kind of sounds suspect, right?
It's a little bit shady. And I'm sorry to any government official who maybe would feel like, oh, that's not fair of you, but you kind of made your bet on this one.
Also, $30 million. I mean, it's a lot more stuff in this province we could probably be spending money on. I mean, the thing is we all know when you're a teenager, if someone's telling you not to do something, you're going to just keep doing it. If kids are going to vape, they're going to vape. It's no difference than we smoked cigarettes in high school.
Yep.
Everyone told us how bad it was for us, and we still did it.
No teacher came up to me outside Diamond Jeunesse Secondary School and was like, smoking cigarettes, eh? Those things are the bee's knees.
And I mean, kids are going to figure out a way to get around it anyway. How many people do you know that smoke weed in hotel rooms and put little bags over the smoke detectors or the towel under the door or whatever it is?
There's always a way to get around these things because you make the product and then that's it. Now it's up to everybody else to figure it out. Meanwhile, I feel like if you asked Ontario teachers and like school support staff, hey, we have $30 million. What's something we should work on? Almost none of them would say vape detectors.
At this point, you just made it a game for the kids.
100%. Yeah, you've just given them a challenge. And hey, I'm all for incentivizing our youth to be smarter and brighter and think on their feet, but maybe this wasn't the avenue.
I just feel bad for the one kid who goes into the bathroom and drops a really big deuce and it picks up on the noise detector. If it works how they say it's working.
Some teacher or custodian has to come racing in there for a wellness check, and you're just like, I'm fine. We had tacos.
Getting suspended for dropping a bomb in the bathroom.
I have found such a beautiful community in California. I have fallen in love with the people and the nature and the culture, and I just can't wait to get back there in the fall. But this time, as I'm planning my next trip to LA, I don't want to just leave my place unused when I could easily be making extra money and just Airbnb my home while I'm away. I am an avid user of Airbnb, and I'm excited to try out the hosting side of it. So for the next trip you plan, just remember that while you're away, your home could be an Airbnb, and it might be worth more than you think. Find out how much at airbnb.ca/host.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
You should send a text 760-555. Ask a question and we'll read it on the radio. Ask us anything you want. 760-555. Send us a text. Come on, let's get weird. 760-555 is the number. I can't forgive, and I won't be ashamed of all the weird that you send to us today.
I might. I won't lie. I might.
I might have stained my pants, to be honest, at how hard I clenched my jaw.
You did
sing that one.
You had a very, very firm jaw at that moment there as you were hitting those notes.
We just got a text. It says, what is your favorite butt rock band in honor of Stained? Is Stained's a butt rock band, I guess you would say? I guess.
That's tough to find out.
What classifies something as butt rock? Is it just the
I always thought that if you did a pay-per-view theme song for WWE, you were at least a little bit butt rock, you know what I mean? So Stained is up there, you got Saliva.
Nickelback, I guess, could be butt rock.
Yeah, a little bit. You know what? I've heard Limp Bizkit called butt rock. That would probably be
Here's
my
the
favorite.
definition of butt rock. I just Googled it. It says butt rock is a subgenre of rock and roll and hard rock music that is lyrically devoid of artistic merit.
Damn!
And oftentimes reduced in melodic complexity.
So it sounds like there's a lot going on, but there's not a lot going on.
Yeah, I found the top 10 butt rock bands of all time.
Give me the top 3.
Well, Theory of a Dead Man cracked in at number 10. 3 Days Grace at 9. Puddle of Mud at 8. Chevelle at 7.
Oh!
And Berlin at 6. I've never heard of them.
No.
Breaking Benjamin at number 5. And then apparently I can't afford the rest because you need to pay for this website.
You got the top 4 butt rock bands behind a paywall. Money well spent, I guess.
We should do a butt rock weekend.
A butt rock weekend.
Yeah, you know, we do the Time Machine long weekends, stuff like that. We should do a butt rock weekend sometime.
Just the commercials alone would make it worth it. Like, imagine the fun you could have with butt rock imaging. Sean says, how are you guys on every morning? I want to stab people in the eye with a fork at this time of day.
I mean, we're not always on.
No, you guys don't get to see us when the music's playing.
Yeah, sometimes we just like sit in the corner, Blair Witch Project style.
Glaring at each other and then race over to the microphones when it's time to talk.
I mean, it's our jobs, right?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah.
The other, I mean, you change your sleep schedule too, right? Like, I feel like I go to bed a lot earlier now that I do this job.
Yeah.
I take naps during the day. If I tried to live like the way I lived in my 30s and still do a morning show, I would stab people with a fork.
Also,
that just would happen.
Also, we're the media. We lie. So if we're having a bad day, it sounds like we're having the best day to you, all right?
Stop perpetuating that.
Here's a good one. What is your over-under of Taylor Swift being shown on TV tonight during the first NFL game of the season?
Is it a Chiefs game tonight?
I believe it is the Chiefs
right.
for Thursday Night Football, right?
Over-under season debut.
I'm going at least 5 times.
Oh God, that's way under.
I don't think I think they're going to try and keep it minimal because they know people are going to get annoyed. But I say you get one pregame. I say you get one in the first quarter.
Yeah,
and I'm going to say towards the end of the half, depending on how well the Chiefs are doing, that's when they'll start picking them up more.
I'd take the over for sure. I think it's 10. I think you go 9.5 if you're setting the line. 9.5 over under, and I still think I take the over on that.
I mean, the commercial that I know TSN is running has Taylor Swift.
Does
in
that
it.
count?
Yeah. Actually, friend of the show, Josh Switzer, gave me a good idea yesterday. He said that every time we mention Taylor Swift, we should start a swear jar.
Swift jar?
As a rock station, we have talked about Taylor Swift way more in the past year than we really should be.
I mean, to be fair, if you go back 3 years, Taylor Swift helped us raise like $2,000 in charity money on our first T-shirt run.
That is true.
She's earned her spot.
We're big Swifties and big butt rock guys is what we learned today.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store, with all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.